Alright, quick teaser for the next video that'll be coming out. It involves this spreader and this power door lock actuator. Let me know what you think I'm building and I'll let you know if you're right. And the video should be out on this one next week. Alright everyone, well first off you're going to have to forgive my garage. I've been tearing through projects here like Rosie O'Donnell tears through a bag of Oreos. So I got kind of crap everywhere, but I did want to shoot a video on a product, a garage product, and you know, it's one of the top 3 things I think you need to make sure you have in any working garage besides a TV. But I think you need, number 1, you need an air supply, a good air setup, something mounted and always ready. I think you need great electrical service, plenty of juice, 220, welding and that type of thing. And I think you need light and lots of it. So my garage is 28 by 26 and I've got just your standard T5 twin bulbs. I've got 6 of those fixtures and frankly I've had them too long because they're pretty terrible. So I started doing some research online and I found awesome reviews on these Barina LED. These are a T5 LED fixture, and the best part about these is they're so cheap. 49 bucks shipped to the house. You get a pack of 6, and what you get for your money there is not a bad little fixture. I mean, it's super light. There's not much to it. It's just LEDs, but you get a nice aluminum body and just your plastic. Kind of looks like a bulb, but obviously it's not. They give you 6 of the main power cords, and these bulbs, by the way, these take 110 right in, and they have a transformer. Well, actually it wouldn't be a transformer, it's probably a diode based voltage reduction in each bulb. So if you want to change the configuration, I mean, if you know, basic soldering skills, or even if you didn't want to solder, I guess you could wire nut it, but that's pretty cheesy. You can make any configuration you want, and they also give you 5 of these, which is just a male-to-male linking connector that links the bulbs together. So what they send you, if you wanted to put one of these in 6 different places, you could do that. If you want to link all of them together and just make one long 6-foot or 6 bulb fixture, super long, you could do that as well. So very easy to work with and very customizable. And I got 2 of them here, so I got a total of 12 bulbs, and I've just hung up the first set, and you will see, hopefully, the difference between these and the fluorescent is huge. And again, we're just going from a double bulb to a single LED. The color temperature on these is a 6500K. Color temp on these are probably about a 5000K, so there's a little bit of a color difference, but as far as light goes, night and day difference between this side and that side of the garage. And I know the camera's probably adjusting for the light and it doesn't look that different, but trust me, it is. So yeah, I'm not cool enough to get the YouTube sponsorships from companies, so if I'm putting something like this on my channel, it's because I believe that you guys, my subscribers, may actually have a need for this or find it interesting. And from a value standpoint, 49 bucks to get 6 of these, that's a great deal. So I figure I throw this video together, let you see how they are. You look at the reviews online; they're really positive reviews. So these apparently hold up very well. So I'm going to get up on my step ladder here. We're going to finish swapping these out, and we'll see what it does or how it looks once it's all up and running. So I ran into my first issue where I don't have a cord long enough to get around a pole, so we're going to make one. So I'm going to take one of the regular outlets, which I don't need, and I'm going to need probably about that much. Cut the switch portion off of it. Then I'm going to take these very fancy paper slash wire slash whatever I need to get cut. It's a very specific tool here, as you can see. Trying not to damage the inner conductors, and if you do, it's not a big deal. Just snip off and try it again. Like so. Okay. So I'm going to try to take off just the smallest amount of wire as possible. So that way I only have to use a little bit of heat shrink over the connections. And we'll take one of these guys and cut it right down the middle so I can use both ends. And we'll do the same to this. Oh, that's interesting. Well, there's your first corner cut. So this is your main feed. 2 conductors, so you got a hot and a neutral, no ground. Here's the interconnect cables. We got, hopefully that'll focus. Focus. You got a hot, neutral, and a ground. So I don't know what they're grounding because there's no main ground coming into the main fixture. That's pretty cheesy. Yeah, and in fact there's, I don't know if the camera will see that, but there is no actual conductor inside that ground terminal, so that's kind of funny. Chinesium at its finest, but if it works, it works. Since these aren't grounded, I'm not even going to bother. We should just double check the polarity though, before we do anything. So just to confirm, this yellow and green should be the ground conductor. And it is. So I'm just going to cut the ground right off of this because there is no ground going into the fixture. There's no sense in making extra work for ourselves. Strip these guys back. I turned on my soldering iron a minute ago, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to take some heat shrink, very small. I'll make 2 little sleeves. And I'm going to feed those guys down over my wire here. We'll use those as insulation between the conductors. And we're going to take a much larger section that's going to cover up this whole area. Slide that way down the channel here and get that out of the way for now. Soldering iron's ready. So I'm just going to tin these guys up so that they will mate nicely with each other. Same on the other side. And the next part is why I've been lobbying for a 3rd arm to be installed on all humans. Because you really need it for stuff like this. One. There's 2. Okay, so we're soldered up. Pull that with my fingers so the heat shrink doesn't start to shrink prematurely. There's nothing worse than shrinking prematurely. Am I right? Alright. Turn on the heat gun. Whoops, actually I'm going to turn off the heat gun. Got a nozzle on this that I don't need. Now we'll turn it on. And we'll just shrink up this heat shrink to protect the conductors. Woo. Hot supper. Beautiful. And now we'll slide the bigger heat shrink up and over the whole thing, and this will catch right up with the insulation that was already on the wire. The only way this would be prettier is if I had some white heat shrink in this size, but I do not. And that, my friends, is a sort of UL listed extension cable without having to buy anything other than some heat shrink. Alright, let there be light. Got all 12 of them installed, and I am very happy with the light output. With that said, I'm going to order one more box. I want to run another 3 down the center of each bay, because while this is absolutely fine for working on cars, and I want this like daylight bright in here. It just makes the job so much easier, and I'm very happy with these lights overall, so I will be ordering one more case, and it'll be like the sun shining in here, which is kind of what I'm looking for. So that said, if you're in the market for some garage lights or whatever, I mean, these are great for just about anything. I highly recommend them. They're only 20 watts draw per unit, and as you can see, they do a phenomenal job. And no flickering, no noises, no nothing. Cold startup, no problem, which is great. So that, as always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions on these lights or anything else, feel free to throw it down in the comment section. Please hit like and subscribe. We've got a project video coming out hopefully next week, as I teased you with earlier in the beginning of this movie, whatever the hell, this thing. And I think that'll be pretty interesting to watch. So stay tuned for details. Have a great day.